Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the live stream. Thank y'all so much for stopping back in. Shout out to the MTZ crew. I know you're on here. Jacob, J, Michael, Beach Alive. There's any old heads. That's 53 Shades Darker. Burl and Edwards. Doubtful Genius. I saw Jeffrey Tatter on here. There he is. Hollywood Baby. R68DV. I saw you on that James video in the comments. Said he sing better than me. Y'all don't realize I'll be watching you guys. Y'all come on here and then y'all go to them other channels. I see you. What's up, Robert? Any new viewers joining us for the first time, welcome. And I mean that. And anybody catching this on replay, the topic today is, one thing we don't prepare for in the Philippines, and that's the weather. I got this from one of the guys on here. I don't know if it was Phil Thomas. Somebody asked me. They said if we could talk more about natural disaster preparation, and I thought about it, and I said, "Wow, that's a good idea." Because sometimes it's more than just bringing the right clothes or the right shoes or the sunglasses or sunscreen. The weather can change like a dime over here, and although there's a pretty good chance that you won't be involved in a natural disaster. That's why it's called preparation. The peso keeps creeping up. It's 55.74, which is not too bad, to be honest with you. Sinulog Festival, if you're in the Philippines, the third Sunday in January, you're in for a treat. If you go to Cebu City, it's like the Mardi Gras, the Carnival in Brazil. It's really a cultural extravaganza, really. If you want to know anything about the Philippines, and people always ask me, the Filipinos party, yeah, they do. And it's funny, Phil, I know you did ask me this, but I'd already made up my mind what the topic was going to be, and I'd be damned if I didn't look in the newspaper today, and there was a blackout, not a brownout, but the blackout of all Panay Island. That's Iloilo City, Aklan, and TK for 2 days. I mean, 3 power stations went offline. And, we don't prepare for that. People don't even prepare for a brownout, let alone a blackout. The governor of Iloilo of Panay Island, he called it economic sabotage. That's how bad it was. Yeah, I'm going to take on the topic today. I saw where Bill Clinton and Donald Trump were mentioned in that Jeffrey Epstein documents. That's no big deal. But they did say there was no wrongdoing. Yeah, 2 of the big pussy grabbers in the world and with Epstein, but nothing inappropriate happened. Yeah, right. Yeah, he says, I'll be there for Sunulu. I was actually in it one time, man, and that was enough for me. It's millions of people, man, in a small area. They've changed it, but it's still fun. It's still exciting, especially if it's your first trip to the Philippines and you happen to be here. Hey, Jabraz, what's going on? Janet Sanchez said, good AM, sir. Uh, Let me see. I had my first members only live stream yesterday, and I think it was a success. Every Wednesday, we're going to do that. Thank you to my members for your support. It's really like a consultation, a free consultation every week, because I think it was like the most people on it yesterday was 23. I've got like 52 members so far. It's growing, and I think I'm going to do that. Also, I'm going to introduce a best of series, best of Philippines. I'm gonna travel all around the Philippines and just what I consider the best I'm going to start off with things I know, like the best burger, best massage, and all of that. I'm going to give that to my members only, though, until I tweak it the way that I want to. But let's get into the topic, okay? Everybody knows, if you've been following me, I sat through that typhoon Odette. I was in Cebu, and the eye of the typhoon hit Cebu, and it was bad. I was on the 46th or 47th floor, I can't remember, but it was pretty bad. And I knew it was going to be bad. I said, if I make it through here and I go outside, I know it's going to be bad. And I'll be damned if I was right. I come outside, people were walking around like zombies. They were lost. They were unprepared for that disaster. Even though I'm going to give the weather people here, I think it's called Pagasa, Philippine. It's, they track the weather. They gave them like a 3 or 4 day warning. They said, hey, it's coming. It's going to hit you. But because in Cebu, they hadn't had a typhoon in so many decades, people didn't take it seriously, man. And so the price gouging started. I mean, you can imagine the taxis turned off their meters. The hubble drivers, those are the guys on the motorcycles, they quadrupled their prices. I was in Horizon 101, and just normally from to take a hubble motorcycle from there to Ayala Mall, which is not far from there. It used to be 60 pesos. I was charged 250 pesos. But here's what I didn't see. So here's what happened. And this will give you an idea of what you may want to prepare for, okay? There was no power at all. All the electricity was cut off. No water. No gasoline. The lines for the gasoline station were literally kilometers long. Listen to me. I'm telling you the truth. I'm not joking. The remittance services were closed down. Everybody was offline, so you couldn't get any money. So there was no money. The grocery stores were jam-packed. Most of the stuff, people were panic buying, so there was no bread, there was no milk, there was no eggs, there was no cheese. All right? Remember, the taxis were overwhelmed. They wasn't even stopping. Transportation was shut down. The hospitals was inaccessible, man. I mean, you got to realize this COVID was still going on. So, a good first aid kit is something you might want to have in your house. I thought I had a first aid kit. I thought somebody had sent me some in a Ballyman box, because when Barry came over here from Guam, he had a motorcycle accident, and where he burned his calf. And hell, I didn't even have a first aid bandages or gauges or anything. I thought I did. But it's just something to think about, guys. More than likely, you're not going to get involved, but it's good to be prepared. That's what good preparation comes from, because the prices were crazy, man. I mean, really. People, instead of them coming together during a catastrophe, which most people did, you got people who are going to take advantage of you. And that's why today I will not drive a hubble in Cebu under no circumstances. I put them on my do not call list. I was so angry at the dude. I'm like, man, don't you realize, people are without food, they're without power, everything, and now you're trying to raise your prices. So I won't ride it. Hell, I'll walk first. Timothy Bright said, hey, everyone. Yes, I asked about the weather typhoon the other night. Did the building feel like it kind of moved or rocked? If the infrastructure is good in PA, I'd feel safe if it's good. Yeah, well, it's swayed, and that's what those big skyscrapers and high-rise buildings are supposed to do. They're supposed to sway with the earthquake or with the typhoon or whatever. If not, hell, the damn thing would have crumbled. These houses and buildings over here, majority of them, are built earthquake-proof and typhoon-proof. Now, your roof may come off. You may suffer some roof damage, which a lot of the buildings did, but it's going to be hard to knock down this cement and hollow block. Our house it was 2 months old exactly, and it withstood it. The only damage we sustained was one of the fence posts from across the way came up out of the ground, and actually it was a bamboo post and was flying through the air and hit the front of our roof. So it's like got like a little crinkle in front. But these houses, man, they're built a whole lot better than the house I had in America with all that fabricated stuff. I mean, there's some cracks and stuff you got to deal with. We repaired all ours. Our house looks like new again. And it didn't cost that much. But it's just something that we don't prepare for. We don't even think about it. And you got to realize, man, this is the most disaster-prone country on earth. And raise your hand if you prepared for it. You know you didn't. You don't even think about it. All you think about is beaches, bombshells, and booty. That's all you think about when you come to the Philippines. You don't think about nothing else. Yeah. Remember, there was a guy who made a good statement on here about everything solar powered. He said until the Chinese start mass producing it, it's going to be expensive. Everything, and he's true. Remember how expensive those VCRs used to be? Even a digital watch when I was growing up, when they first came out, man, they was $150, $200. Now you can get one for 99 cents. That same digital watch. Everything, computers, cell phones, everything was expensive, man. When the dope dealers used to have a big cell phone, man, it was $4,000 and $5,000, man, for those cell phones. Now you could get a cell phone for $50 here in the Philippines. Yeah, they always take advantage. But this is just some things that I saw that we were without. So, you may want to keep some extra gasoline around for your motorcycle. This may be a reason to get you a motorcycle or a car. He said, how long was it before things started getting back to normal? I left the next day because when they shut the water off, I can't deal with no water. I can deal without electricity. But when you take the water, that's a whole other story. But I believe it was about 2 to 3 weeks before everything got back to normal. May have been a month. I mean, really, it rocked Cebu because they weren't prepared. They probably recover a lot quicker up in Manila because they take that type of thing serious. But when the weather people warned Cebu, I was in a taxi cab and the man was just, nonchalant about it. He was like, I'm not leaving, I'm staying. It's no big deal. Yeah, it was a big deal. And people were lost. You could see it in their eyes, man. And that was a true sad thing to see. I mean, people didn't know what to do. There was, no food in those little stores. All that was shut down. You had to go to the grocery store, and the lines were just so long, and nothing that you wanted was available. The necessities, that we usually buy, everything was gone. But I got a list of things down here. There's 3 things that should be written in stone before you arrive over here in the Philippines. more so for people who are talking about relocating. But even vacation goers, if you got these three things already written in stone, it's going to save you a lot of money, time, heartache, because retirement and vacation should be easy. It shouldn't be hard. You didn't jump off one hamster wheel to jump on another one over here. But the first thing is where you will live or where you should stay. You should already have that situated, man. Excuse me, because that's going to tell you a whole lot about what you need to prepare for anyway. Sperling Edwards was talking about there's a lot of flooding that goes on where he lives. But you should already have it written in stone where you're going to live, where you're going to stay if you're vacation. How you're going to access your money. Because remember, the banks shut down, and this happened on a weekday. It wasn't a weekend. Banks shut down. Remittance places shut down. Okay? Because I was stuck there, and I remember Jeffrey Tatter and Danny Jackson, they sent me a remittance to help me get back to St. Carlos City. I couldn't even get the money, man. I don't even remember. I think I got it. I don't know how I got it. But I don't think I got it. I think I used the money that I had in my pocket. I paid a taxi driver a humongous amount of money to take me to Toledo City. And, you know, the further you got away from Cebu City, it wasn't as bad. And the ferries were still running, which I was shocked. And I was able to catch a ferry to St. Carlos City. But you've got to know how you're going to access your money over it. Don't wait till you get here. It's too late. You should already be researching that. You know, y'all ask me that all the time, but you should already have an ironclad way that you've decided you're going to get your money, whether it be the ATM, whether you're going to try to bank transfer, which you're probably not going to be able to do because when you first get over here, you're not going to have an account. But the remittance service you're going to use, whatever it is, you should do that. And then what you're going to do when you get here. That was one of the questions that retired 2019 asked me on the members only live stream. He said, Calvin, I'm going to be a first time visitor to the Philippines. Where should I go? What should I do? What should I see? And this is the same thing you should do, whether you're a retiree or just on vacation. What are you going to do with your time here, man? Hey, Mark Mack, he says, what's good, Brother Cal, to all your viewers and subscribers? You're sharing life-saving information to those who want to come here. Having forethought and paying attention is key. Absolutely. But you know what we're focused on? That's all we're focused on. Because I'm tired of hearing people say, well, all the Filipinos bring it to the table is pussy. Well, that's all you want. That's all a lot of y'all want and need. Because you're not focused on nothing else. So leave those women alone. Y'all making women rich online, just, you know, talking about sex and you're showing bikinis and stuff. So be quiet with that, man. You know, there's more to be worried about than that. But that's all you hear about. And, you know, because I got it wrote down here, I'm like, I think the men are turning into the women that we're running away from because it's like, y'all looking for the perfect woman. I mean, your standards is just too high, man. And I'm thinking, I mean, on any manosphere, mostly all the channels that are talking about modern women, I'm like, well, what kind of woman are y'all looking for? And have you looked in the mirror lately? I mean, it's unrealistic. And you're going to remain unhappy and miserable and lonely until you come to terms with reality. Period. End of story. But you're right, Mark Mack. You know, we talk about this stuff because nobody thinks it's going to happen to them. It happened to me. And I was wandering around like everybody else, stuck in Cebu for that one day, could not do nothing. I was able to get a pack of hot dogs. And then, you know, I wasn't able to cook them because they cut the power off. I got a pack of hot dogs, some eggs. Luckily, I got back in time. I was able to make me a sandwich, couple of sandwiches. I bought me some Coke. But I had to leave that stuff there, and I wrote it on there. I gave it to the cleaner in the Airbnb. You can have this stuff. I bought a couple of Snickers bars I took with me. I'm telling you from experience, we're not prepared for it. And it could hit you at any time over here. He said, does the government have programs to help the survivors rebuild? I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure they do, but it's never enough. Hey, Gerald, Happy New Year. All access, my Buntai. Happy Man, Mike Campbell. Yeah, I was right in there. And you really see, if you want to see how the struggle, be here during one of those natural disasters, and you'll see it. You'll see the struggle, man. And hell, you caught up in it too. I couldn't help anybody because hell, I couldn't help myself. What's up, Chase? I'll be talking to you, man. 12 noon. What's up? Mr. Passport King said, good morning, Cal, from Mindanao. And, earthquakes and all that stuff. But usually it's the same thing. You're going to lose power. Not going to be any water. Gasoline. The lines were just so long. I mean, I don't even know how to even get gasoline. But remember, Filipinos are very patient. They were standing in those lines. I mean, I wanted to take a picture, but I just will not. I just don't want to do it at the expense of people, man. But I was in the taxi. I mean, just as far as I could ride, it was a line of people waiting. I'm thinking, do they realize how far away from the damn gasoline station they are? You couldn't get money. All the ATMs are out of money. People had already did that. M Lawyer, all those places were closed. Western Union. Panic had set in, guys. Trust me. He said, how rough was the ferry ride to St. Carlos? It wasn't rough because this was the next day after. And I caught the last ferry to get me back over there. And you talking about, man, being happy. Mumble Mac Dow says you got to have cash on hand, especially during a natural disaster. But if you're here partying, let the good times roll and everything like that, you're not thinking of any emergencies or anything like that, your ass is going to be out. You're not going to be prepared. Mr. Passport King says, and you should test your money transfer method before you get here. Yeah, I would send myself a little money to make sure, yeah, it's working. Frank Ellis said, how's the weather like in the Clark Subic area? Well, you're up in Luzon, so you're going to, when it's the rainy season, you're going to get rain. Pampanga usually gets hit with a typhoon. But that's what you got to do. That's part of your preparation. Wherever you're going, take a look. Just take 5 minutes to look at the weather. 10 minutes to research the weather pattern in the area. When's the last time they had a typhoon? How bad was it? How many people were affected? Did anybody die? How fast did it take for them to recover? You should be doing that stuff when you're dealing with the Philippines. I'm not saying everywhere else. This is the most disaster-prone country in all the world, on the planet. So that's why we say you should do these type of things coming to the Philippines. Extra precautions. What's up, Don? My homeboy. Mo says, Brother Cal, I carry a mini pharmacy, first aid, military grade blood, stops, needles, temperature and pulse taker, protein powder, and power bars. Even if I'm sick, I can survive for 2 weeks. See, this is what I'm talking about. He's prepared though. You're one out of 10,000, Mo, or maybe 100,000. But those power bars and protein powder and all that stuff, man. Okay, remember, water here is very inexpensive. We buy 12 liters for about 25 pesos. So you may want to have a couple of those on standby, man, because that protein powder is good when you mix it with water, something else, milk, maybe canned goods. You know, like what are those little franks that you open up? Vienna sausages, noodles, just anything like that that's non-perishable. But I think those noodles are perishable, but they've got a long shelf life. Timothy Bright said, Cal, briefly tell me what the members live stream is about. Are members asking first time questions? How do you become a member? Well, you just join. And they've got, like, I think bronze, silver, gold membership. And this is all set up by YouTube. But a member is different from just a regular YouTuber. You get certain perks like that members only live stream, members only content, and different things like that. A guy even told me, he said, hey, Cal, you ought to have a members only meet and greet. I mean, that would be good if I ever reach that amount of members. But we were talking about startup costs yesterday, which a lot of people, we don't spend enough time on that. You know, how much does it cost to get started over here in the Philippines? We talk about pensions, we talk about budgets, but startup costs, we don't do enough videos. I mean, across the whole genre, nobody does. And see, I was telling, I did a video for my Patreon, and people always ask me, can I live on 1,200? Can I live on 1,500? You should be asking yourself. I should be asking you that. You shouldn't be asking me that, because I don't know your tendencies. I don't know your spending habits. I don't know what you like and everything like that. Can you live on 1,200 over here? See, are you willing to make the sacrifices that it's going to take in order for you to do that? I should be asking you that question. But it was a good discussion, man, because we don't talk enough about it. I said 10,000 at the minimum savings that you need when you come over here to get started. I'm not talking about 10,000 period. I'm saying to go along with your monthly income, your pension, or your passive income, or whatever it is. Because you may have to buy furniture, you may have to buy a motorcycle, you may have to um, move. Your first choice in cities may not be what you want. So instead of waiting for your third of the month or first of the month or whenever you get your check, now your options is open. You can just get out of that. But it was a good live stream. Hey, Philly, dumb, sad dude, 0007. Uncle Cal, we love you, youngster. Hey, thank you, brother. I love you back, man. And that's real. Link 1111 said, hey, Cal, for us who want to move there, should we travel around from live-in spaces or target a location less dangerous and build a house like you and Cliff did in building your houses over there? Well, see, that's one thing I said. I said, first of all, you got to find out where you going to live. Now, you watching all these videos and stuff, you should have an idea already. Remember, one of the major causes of failure, according to Napoleon Hill, is mankind's inability to make a decision and then follow through with that decision. Because we're always going back and forth, changing our minds and stuff like that. Go ahead and make a decision right now. I'm going to live in Davao. And then go in Davao. And then if you don't like it, now you got that savings. You can move out of there when you figure out you don't like it. Okay. But believe it or not, this is what I told Geechee Land. When you start traveling around Manila, Cebu, Davao, places, they start looking the same, guys. It's real simple over here. You're not really, I mean, unless you're in Cebu and Manila, those are the two big urban cities. Everything else is going to look the same. To me, it just looks the same. And it doesn't take you a whole month to figure out whether you're going to like Davao or not. But you should have that kind of stuff already in your mind. Am I going to build a house or am I going to rent? I would rent. I wouldn't make any type of decisions, serious decisions like that for at least, I said 2 years, but I know y'all don't have that much patience. At least a year, because hell, look how long it was. It was 3 years before I built this house. And I had been coming over here, Link 1111, on and off up until that time for, let's see, 2018 to 13 years before I built the house. You know, it's going to take some time, but nowhere, at least, that's the least you should know, where I'm going to start out in. Because you're going to spend a lot of money. You're going to be in that old vacation mode. You're ripping and running around, man. Before you know it, you're going to look up and that 10,000 is going to be gone. That's why you need to make the decisions before you get here. Don't be afraid to do that. You can always change your plan once you get here because that money's going to keep your options open. Phil Thomas said, hopefully people have homeowners insurance, but probably not. I'm pretty sure the rich people do, Phil. The well-off people do, but the masses, they don't, man. They just have to rebuild the best they can. A lot of people over here, they build their house by hand. Plywood, hollow block, just the metal that they can find. I mean, a lot of people who watch my videos, they have no clue really what it's like over here. I'm not picking on people here. I'm just saying you have no clue what it's really like over here. When you think in poverty, you thinking only what poverty looks like where you live. I mean, really, it's some primitive structures over here that people live in. I'm not putting them down. They're doing the best they can under some trying situations. But no, what kind of homeowners insurance they're going to have? And the reason why a lot of deaths happen over here during those natural disasters is because of the accommodations that people are forced to live in. Some people are basically living on the street, so they're going to suffer casualties. In some of these houses, you see, look on my video that I did about she left him for the bigger, better deal. Look behind me, and you're going to see that kubo that they built over here. They're squatters. It's 1, 2, 3 of them, and then they're building another one. These are just these little bamboo structures, man, just to keep people out of the elements. If another typhoon comes through here, that's not going to be left. Oh, that's going to be wiped out. Mr. Passport King says, we had a 4.4 earthquake last night that made the second floor shake. Now, see, he's down in Mindanao. Where in Mindanao are you? Are you over there by the General Santos, Davao City, that area? Hey, Solutions Bye. Thank you for joining. Thanks for your membership, man, and your support. I really appreciate that. I got some stuff coming up for my members. When I reach 1,000 members, man, my content's going to be members only. Because I said this on my members only live stream yesterday, and this is 100% fact. If it were not for the people watching this, live stream right here, my core group of supporters, man, I would be gone off of YouTube, man. YouTube has wiped its hands of me and channels like mine. I mean, we're paying a price for talking about the Philippines. I'm telling you, man, it's too glutted. It's too congested. It's too many channels, man, and we're paying a price. I looked it up. It's one of the things the algorithm looks at. So they're going to have one or two that they put up there. The rest of them, you're going to be scrambling, man. So once I build up my membership, I mean, like, to hell with these fickle viewers and supporters. I'm giving it all to my members, man. I mean that because that's the only way I'm going to survive. I mean, or I start talking about something else, which that's an option. But talking about the Philippines, man, is costing us. And people don't realize it. It's not as popular as it used to be during the pandemic. And then we've covered everything from frontwards to backwards. The only reason I keep doing is because I've got people who ask me questions, who are still coming over here. I'm not going to bring you all this way and then drop you off. I'm staying alive as long as I can. But yeah, if you want to come on here and be a YouTuber, I would talk about something else, man. I'm looking at these numbers, not just mine, but the new viewers. I mean, the new YouTubers and the ones that have been around about as long as me, man. We're struggling, man. YouTube has just said, it's too much. Now, unless, you're Filipina and you want to talk about sex and wear bikinis and stuff, that's the only time you're going to get views. And I'm not going to do that. I'm just not going to get involved with that cringy stuff anymore. I mean, it's one thing to do it during the pandemic, but now that it's opened up, I done got away from that, man. And I could get in trouble doing it. But yeah, YouTube is glutted over here, dude. Hey, Red Spaniel 65 said people need to travel around and get to know where they want to be before settling down. You don't know how you react to certain things. Weather's a great one to acclimatize to. Yeah, but if you start moving around, you better have some money. Okay, you're going to waste a lot of money doing that. You should have a general area of where you're trying to move before you come over here. Because skipping around like that, ask some people. They'll tell you how expensive that is. It's not easy because now you got, transportation costs. There's your deposit. You got to, because you're going to sacrifice that first deposit. You're not going to get that back, or very little of it back. I would get a general idea, man. That's what all these vlogs and stuff is for. If you like the beach, then look at a beach place. Okay. If you like the city, then look at the cities. The province, look at the provinces while you're there. Don't wait till you get over here, man. You can save a lot of money and a lot of time and a lot of heartache. Okay. And then, how you going to access your money? What are you going to do with your time when you get over here? People get bored. I'd say bring your hobbies over here because you're going to be able to do more of it here because of the weather. It's sunny all the time. Hey, Golden Gate says, hit the like button and join the membership. You won't be disappointed. The membership live streams are off the hook. They're going to get better, man, because it's not that many people there. People aren't going to get mad at me because I can't answer their questions right here. Link 111 says, 1111 says, I'm doing research now, just asking, but also watching Geechee. But remember how you and Cliff made that move. Yeah, but it took a long time for me. I don't know how long it did for Cliff. That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't make any type of rash decisions, man, for the first, I said 2 years, but people aren't that patient. I know at least a year, especially, getting married and engaged and all that, building houses and all that crazy stuff, that serious stuff. Look, guys, y'all gonna make your retirement seem like work. If you get over here and you're moving around and jumping around all the time, if that's the case, you might as well go on and jump back on the hamster wheel. It's going to be much more profitable. But when you come over here, man, you want things to be easy. You want it to be as easy as possible. That's what you worked all these years for. Not to be bouncing around like a piece of popcorn, man. And that's what people do. Hey, Jabraz, thank you for your support, man. Yeah, it's troll free too. If a troll comes on there, he's got to join. You know, he's going to be my supporter. So now he's a hypocrite. How you going to join my channel and be a troll? But somebody tried that on my Patreon. You know, straight out of another Filipino vlogger's handbook, you could tell he's probably one of her followers because of everything he said. I'm saying, dude, you paid $3 or whatever it was he paid just to give me, you know, tell me that I sexualized Filipinos with the BBC video. Oh man, people are crazy. Let's see what W secrets to success. That's the last time. I'm sorry, I passed him up. I like to hear what he's got to say. You know, there. W secrets to success vlog. He said, Cal, you can't go members only live stream. What we going to do? No, I mean, not right now. I'm doing that as a service to my members to reward them for their support. I do that every Wednesday. But I still have my other live streams, of course. But I'm saying once I reach a certain amount of members, it's all members, man, because right now, man, I'm scratching and scraping to stay alive, man. YouTube is not playing, guys. I'm telling you, especially when you're over here talking about the Philippines. They're penalizing us, man. This is just it's just glutted with channels and, you know, it's like it used to be. So you got to be smart. You know, that's why when the guy got on here the other day and was saying, oh, what Chocolate Man did was crazy, I said, no, it wasn't. It was brilliant, really. I don't know why he did it, but it was brilliant because he separated himself from all this foolishness over here in Southeast Asia. You know, everybody's just talking around in circles. I can talk about other stuff, okay? But I do it for my long-time supporters, man, who still ask me questions, who haven't made it over here yet. But I can talk about other stuff. I could talk about self-help. I could talk about religion. I could talk about a lot of stuff, man, retirement and different things like that. Solutions by says, I was deciding between this and the Patreon, so I just chose this. What's the difference? Well, the live stream's number one. See, I haven't figured out how to do a live stream on Patreon. They claim you can do it, but every time I try, I can't get through. Okay. But Patreon, I can get a little bit more nittier and a little bit more grittier. But since that guy came over there like that, you know, these trolls, they'll try anything, man, to try to knock you off of the beam. See, somebody would pay $3 to come over there and hear me say something and then record it or whatever and then bring it back out here. But I don't worry about that anymore. But that's the thing with Patreon, see. He said, yeah, thousands of Philippine vloggers, yeah. And it's more and more. And you know, I'm not discouraging people from doing it. I'm just telling you that one of the things the algorithm looks at is the competition. And when you got thousands, there's thousands over here anyway, Filipino vloggers who don't even talk to us. They're just doing their, you know, travel and their jokes and, you know, things that are relevant to the culture here. I'm talking about us, the ones who talk to Westerners. There's only so much attention that people have. There's only so much support that people have. I can't compete really with those young girls showing all that, talking about all that stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna just do what I do best. But yes, thousands and thousands, man. And it's just getting to the point where whenever I wake up and I look at my feed, I'm like, man, it makes you want to throw your hands up. It's like, it's crazy. George Manning says, I was working at Camp O'Donnell when Mount Pinatubo exploded. Now, that was a crazy time to be living in Angeles City. See, I'm glad you brought that up because Frank Ellis just asked about the weathers in Angeles City. You have to understand, we're forgetting all about Mount Pinatubo, which is still active. So that's something to think about if you want to talk, if you're thinking about moving to Angeles City, because we're always of the mindset it's never going to happen, or it's always going to happen in the other city or to the other guy. We don't even prepare for it. Look at Mo. Of all the people on this live stream, he's the only one that says, hey, this is what I'm travel with. Okay. And I've talked to Mo several times. We've hung out, ate dinner, stayed at the same resorts together. He's that type of person. I know he's traveled the world. He was a sort of like a missionary. Well, not a missionary, I wouldn't call it, but trust me, he's world traveled. But he's like one out of 1,000, 10,000 that has a, a package like that, an emergency package. Hey, Happy Man 6920 said, Golden Gate, I agree. The membership live stream was such a pleasure to be involved in. I'm glad y'all enjoyed it, man. It's more engaging. It's smaller. And we can talk about, it's your live stream, literally. So we voted on some stuff that they want to hear, that they want me to make vlogs on, and I'm going to do it. But one of them was, what to bring as a new person. See, this is the reason I keep doing it, because more and more people are getting interested in making their first trip over here, like Yusuf Habib. He's coming this month. He said, come on, Cal, put a bikini on. I'm just saying, they've taken it to a whole other level. And I'm asking myself, do I even want to be a part of this? Because they accuse us of exploiting them, but they're really exploiting themselves, man. They're really muddying the water, man. They have no idea. It's, on one hand, you'll hear people say, oh, it's more than sex in the Philippines. But then when you got Filipinas and all they're talking about is sex, you're thinking, well, is it more than sex? Because a lot of guys would tell you, oh, that's all the only reason people come around. The only reason they come to the Philippines is sex, And so how can you argue with somebody like that and say, no, it's not, when all you see is the people who could be the ones to ask are only making sexual videos. But, you sex sells, so I don't blame them, but I can't do it. TJ Johnson says skipping around is very, very expensive. It is, guys. Don't do that. Don't skip around. You're going to start over every single time. If you've done your due diligence and your research and talk to the right people, you're going to get a general idea. See, I was talking to Derek Casanaris yesterday, on Facebook, we're Messenger. I can live anywhere. Anywhere on this planet, I can live. I'm that type of guy, and I can live in Thailand, I can live in LA, I can live in Russia, the Philippines. I can live anywhere. I can adjust. I'm not hard to please. Some of you guys are hard to please. That's why you got to do more research. That's why I haven't left the Philippines, man. The Philippines is not that bad to me. Hell, actually, it's quite good. Try living in some of them crack houses I used to frequent, where there's no running water either. In the richest country in the world, the damn toilet, there's no, the toilet's full of mess, and you urinating in there anyway. You ain't got a choice. And then when they can't use it in the toilet, they start using it in the bathtub. See, y'all don't really want the nitty gritty for real. It's not that bad over here, guys, like y'all think it is. There you go, have a nice day. Says the vloggers that go around and eat street food seem to get the most views. Well, it just depends on what people like. You're going to gravitate toward the people that you have something in common with. Or maybe that's the type of life you want to live. Some single guys are getting a lot of, uh, you know, clicks and views because other people want to come over here and do that and travel around on the cheap, screwing girls and stuff like that. See, so they like that kind of stuff. The Johns, they've got a good, there's several Johns over here in Thailand, going around Southeast Asia. They get a lot of clicks and views. If that's what you like, some people like the family type blogger, you know, but most of people like the young girls and what they're putting out there. That's who's getting the most views, to be honest. Or whenever there's some bad news, like I saw the other day, what is that? That Philippine Life. They came to my meet and greet in Iloilo. I didn't know them. They were there, I think, as guests for Philippines in full effect. But anyway, I met them. Now they're getting a divorce. And, he got so many clicks on that. But eventually it's going to go down because, now hers will probably get a whole lot because they want to hear her side of the story. But whenever you got bad news like that, you'll get a lot of clicks. Sex, of course, you're going to get a lot of clicks. Thomas Marshall says it costs over 40,000 pesos to transport a car from Manila to Cebu. See, this is what I'm saying. He's bearing witness. You start moving around, guys, you're going to spend a lot of money. Those deposits and all that stuff, and you got to move all your possessions. You bought furniture in Manila. What are you going to do? Give it away and buy new furniture in Cebu? I would have, okay, I talked about this before on live streams. I would you got to give yourself some time anyway to figure out if you like the place. You can't do it in 2 weeks unless you got a terrible neighbor. Then you move up the street, but you don't move to Cebu. Yeah, it is. It is invaluable information. You can get more information. Excuse me. More information. It's more private. This isn't private. I don't know who's watching me. More than likely, there's trolls and there's people watching for me to say something. That's how they get the information to make those videos they make. They watch my live stream. But, Patreon and membership, it's more private. You can say what you really want to say too. See, the people who are a lot smarter than me, they invented this stuff. Google and all them places. Dive Master Ricky says, I'll be there for 1 month and plan to travel by bus and ferries. Going to pay as I go. How much cash would you suggest I bring? Well, that's a good question, man. It's a question you should ask yourself. I put it like this, Dive Master Ricky. If you can afford it, I would bring $1,000 for every week I'm going to be here. You may not spend 1,000, but at least you're going to have it covered. Now, that's going to include, of course, you've already got your plane ticket, but that's going to include your accommodations and your food and whatever it is you're trying to do. Because you're not going to sit around here all the time and do nothing. And if you don't think it can get expensive over here, it can real quick, because when you come over here, You're not going to be able, you're not going to all of a sudden start eating balut sandwiches. You're still going to be eating the same thing you're eating at home or looking to eat at home. But I would bring at least 1,000 for each week I could stay. Because you're going to have a woman more than likely with you, so it's going to be double everything. No woman's going to hang around with you and you're not spending any money on her. I'm sorry, guys. That's just the way of the world. Hey, take care, TJ. I know you work in third shift and digital nomad stuff. He says, I have all my fishing gear on the way there now. That's my hobby. Yeah, just bring your hobby from there over here, guys. That's all you got to do because you're going to have to find something to do. Yeah, he said that there's a reason Joe Rogan went to Patreon. Yeah, you have more control too because you can talk about more things. You know, the community standards here, the guidelines here, people can turn you in and you can lose your channel over the stupidest stuff. And you do have more control. Out on bail says, I spent 300,000 pesos for 39 days, including hotel spending money. Yeah, that's a lot. That's about what, $6,000 or something, a little bit less than $6,000 for 39 days. Because, you know, we got certain spending habits. You're not going to get rid of those by the time you get over here. Everything's going to look like a deal. You don't know really the exchange rate. You see it, but you don't know the significance of it. So you don't know if you're overpaying for something or not. You have to have somebody either experience or somebody sitting there and say, hey, that's expensive for that box of Cracker Jacks, 250 pesos. He says, I love the Chinese. He said, trolls won't pay. No wonder my ex-wife wouldn't give me any money on the bills. He said, the yummy's too available to get married here. Beach of Life says that. You're going to have a woman and you gotta fix that into your budget. I don't care how long you're going to be here. I can say this with all honesty. In my situation, I spend a whole lot more on my woman than I do me. And I don't spend a lot of money, man, because I'm acclimated to this place. So I spend a whole lot more on them than I do me. Very little do I spend on me. Dave Knopfler, he says 3 months is a minimum time to get adjusted. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't come over here jumping around like a piece of popcorn. It's going to cost you. Settle in somewhere. And if you want to go to see one of these beaches, don't get an Airbnb for 30 days and then go to the beach and pay to stay at the resort too. Now you're double dipping. Let the Airbnb go or whatever, do it in stages like that. Change Man says, hey, Cal, how far are you from Cebu? I'm about 3 hours on the bus and ferry. But if you got a motorcycle, it's going to be closer. But that ferry ride from St. Carlos City to Toledo City is an hour and a half. So then it's just a matter of how fast you're going to get from Toledo City to Cebu City. If you're in one of those vans, it takes you about an hour and 10 minutes. On the bus, it takes you about 2 hours. And in a car, about an hour. He says, oh, wow, they're getting a divorce. The couple that had the lucrative business. No, not them. That's the Philippines in full effect. That Philippine life is the wife is half Filipino, half Canadian. And he's Canadian, I guess. And what's happened is, if you can read between the lines, She's come over here and basically got discovered. She's like a model, and she does cosplay, and she's probably going to end up being a celebrity over here. I think that's what's happened. So now they're going a different way, because when they came to the meet and greet, that's what Marilyn them said. Oh, you look like a celebrity, blowing the girl's head up and everything. When you get half Filipino, half Canadian, most of the big stars over here are half Filipino, half European, or whatever it is. So that's what's happened. She's caught fire over here. She was discovered here. And now, I guess, she's moving on without him. That's basically what happened. Hey, Otis Allen, thanks for that super sticker. And I know he's hurting, man, but he's trying to play it off like he's not. I mean, you can't be married. I mean, they've been together and married, he said right before the pandemic. So that's been about 4 years, man. And now all of a sudden, you got your little beautiful young wife, leaving. He seems to be taking it okay, but that's a front to me. Hey, Otis Allen, thanks for that super sticker. Yeah, that's a. But either way, I'm just saying, people like that kind of news, and they'll click on that. If you say, "Oh, I'm getting off YouTube, I'm leaving YouTube," if I made a video like that today, no matter what time I posted that, it would get a lot of views. But if you go around and if you do a video on startup costs and things that really matter, guys, y'all won't click on it. You won't click on it. It's always something negative, something sexy. Hey, what's up, Q-Dub? He said, hey, fellas, 223 watching with only 32 likes. We all dig this channel, so please hit the like button. It keeps us here having this man info enjoyment. Hit the button, y'all. Hal Funkbay says, I'm leaving from California. Is that San Francisco in 3 weeks to the Philippines? I'm happy to leave the U.S. and sad to leave. My condo is getting a full makeover. Here or there? Otis Allen says, I don't know, Cal. I drink beer. I love beer, but honestly, I don't drink around anybody. Well, hell, once you start feeling good, man, it all changes. You loosen up a little bit, but I don't blame you. If you watch one of my earlier videos, that's what I'll say. If you're going to drink, man, if you're going to get drunk at home. Because when you start going out to these local bars and drinking, and the Filipinos are drunk too, they're going to say stuff to you that they normally wouldn't say. It's any drunk, really. And it could get you in trouble. There's been people killed here, beat up, because, they're in the local bar. One man not far from here, I tell this story all the time, but it's new people on here. He was here, him and his girlfriend or wife, they were here to adopt her two nieces, well, one niece and one nephew. It had already been approved. All they were here was for 2 weeks to come and get them, take them back. Well, he went to the local watering hole, drinking. Two drunk guys come up and ask him to buy them a beer. He's like, no, I'm not buying you nothing. So then, because he knows the language, see, it's the reason I don't want to know the language. They're talking about him in their language, but he understands it. So argument ensues. They pull out a rusty old 38 and shoot him in the head and kill him. It's sad, man, but that kind of stuff happens. And there was a famous chef down in, y'all read about that probably, in Cebu. His daughter goes to I think she's 17 or wherever it is. She goes to the bathroom, and some guys say some, hitting on her, saying some disrespectful things to her. Well, hell, he got up to defend her honor and got the hell beat out of him. Even the damn manager of the place got her licks in. There you go, have a nice day. Says in those 39 days, you take that beautiful woman to a nice, expensive restaurant only to find out she would have been happy at Jolly Beach. Yeah, we're our worst enemy. We do the same thing when it comes to everything over here. We buy these fancy cars when a motorcycle would have been good enough. We build these fancy homes when a rented apartment would have been good enough. We overspend. I mean, how many times have I talked about that? I mean, because we're trying to buy these women, man. We're so screwed up, man. I don't know what's going on with us. You can talk to us till you're blue in the face. It's not going to get through. It's not going to get through. You know, and then when you leave, how are they going to take care of the stuff? They're going to sell it. But you can't tell us anything. We're over here trying to outdo each other. I'll show you. I'm going to build a bigger house for my girlfriend than you did for yours. Buy a bigger diamond ring. We do that stupid stuff over here, man. I'm going to get married faster than you to prove, how stupid I am, really. Yeah. She's fine. And that's what happened. She got discovered over here. And, she's looking for the bigger, better deal. Basically what it is. And probably, one of the producers or something say, hey, he's in your way. We want you. We don't want him. And it gets shady in the entertainment business. How many times you see these lead singers leave the group to their detriment? It don't matter that you got famous with the group. Now they want you to go, some slimy manager, a record producer or something comes in there and say, look, we want you. We don't want them. Now you turn your back on them. But what happens when you really need a shoulder to cry on, see? Everybody around you is going to be fake. But yeah, she left him, man. Stephen K says, I've been taking care of a whole ass family, but I love my girl's parents, and she's just like those two, teaching those family right. Everyone getting sick there now. It's crazy to disregard. So are you here doing it? Are you there doing it? Because you inadvertently, you take care of the family. I mean, it's just how it is in some way, shape, or form. Everybody's making these videos. I just saw where the Briton in Philippines, he's some expert now saying no, right? And I'm like, dude, nobody's asking you for anything for you to say no. And even if you're in a situation where you're saying no all the time, remove yourself. But that's not occurring over there saying, oh, you need to say no. Well, who's asking all the time? You cannot say no, guys, when it's time to go to the grocery store. You got to buy that. Or when the electric bill comes, or the water bill, or the Wi-Fi, or any other thing. How can you say no to that? But these guys, they're so smart. They'll tell you, oh, you got to learn how to say no. I'm going to say no to the whole relationship. I'm going to throw it all in the garbage if every day I'm sitting around saying no to some woman who's asking me over and over for something. I mean, where are y'all living? And who are you living with? Because that's usually not the case. Oh, you got to learn how to say no. Bring a good firm no over here. Even though no is the default word, if you're in a situation, guys, where you're always saying no, get out of there because you're in a bad situation. Somebody asking you every damn day for something and you got to say no. Hey, W Secrets to Success, thanks for that super chat. Cal, attention, if a troll is paying to troll you, you better not block them. Hell, that's the type of troll you need. No, I don't need that kind of troll, W Secrets to Success, because those are the ones that's going to get you in trouble. And there, my Patreon is so cheap anyway. See, I've undervalued myself. I've done that because, okay, Some of these guys, man, you know, because I didn't know anything about it, but that's what happens to me. So my Patreon membership is only $3, $6, $9, right? There's some people start out at 200, you know, or 100, 200, and 300, right? They're saying, look, if you really like what I'm putting out, if you really, you know, appreciate, you know, my content, then okay, show me. Because I'm gonna tell you something. Um, I'm not tooting my own horn, but I should be earning a whole lot more money on YouTube than I am compared to some of these other people, right? But I gotta step my game up. I gotta get a studio. I gotta do a whole lot more. But maybe that's my appeal, that I'm raw. But I'm doing my walk yesterday, and the lead attorney, I like him. It's very few people that I really watch on YouTube. I like him because he's transparent. Now, I'm not saying I'm on his level, but I'm saying, guys, this guy's making just unbelievable amounts of money on YouTube. He showed what he made the first 6 months of the 2022 he was talking about, even though it's a new video. And he had earned like $347,000 in the first 6 months of that year. He was going from January 1st to June 30. And he's not really talking about legal stuff. He's mostly talking about, you know, gossiping and how to earn money from live streams and stuff like that. It's not like he's teaching a law course or something. This guy's making, I mean, it's people on these platforms that's making a ton of money, man. And people come after me, or anybody in the Philippines for that matter. If you earning anything, they want to knock you for being monetized and stuff like that, right? Yeah, he's making serious bank, Frank. But he's not the only one, guys. It's a lot of people. Okay, we're the only ones in the Philippines who get penalized for that. People don't want to support you. Oh, no, I'm not going to support his lifestyle over there. Those guys who have those men and women who have that type of support, their followers and supporters aren't thinking like that. They're saying, oh, I enjoy this man's content. I enjoy what he's bringing to the table. I really like that. I'm going to support that. Okay. But over here, man, you get hated on. They call you an e-beggar, they call you. Well, call him an e-beggar. Okay. You can probably call him anything you want. You know, I don't even talk about Mr. Beast, who earned 57 million. I brought it down to the lead attorney, somebody that y'all could more relate to. 300, I think it was 340, but he only showed 3 streams. He showed YouTube. He showed, I want to say, he sells a course on how to earn money on YouTube. And then Patreon. It was like 3 streams. His Patreon is like $9,500 every month, man. It's crazy. I mean, these guys they're not much better than me. I'm telling you guys, they are not. I'm just talking about the wrong thing right now. That's all. That's what's penalizing me. I'm talking about the Philippines, and less people are being interested in the Philippines. It's just an old subject now. It's getting boring on YouTube. Hey, Robert Dame, thanks for that super chat. He says, in the zone again. Preach on, Rabbi. Hazak, you Barak, just means carry on, brother. Amen. Hey, thank you, brother. Yeah, but if you over here in the Philippines, man, you better not be earning no money. And, you know, it's a double standard that we face. Okay, Stephen K says, I've been with my girl and her family since 2016 in March through COVID and all of the other stuff. Still supporting her and her family. So you're living here? Are you living there? Or did you say? Okay, because you said I've been with my girl. That doesn't mean are you actually living here, Stephen? That's what I want to know. Hey, thanks, W Secrets of Success, for that super chat. He said, uh, the lead attorney, gives his legal advice on current controversial, legal cases, which is smart. Yeah, because yesterday he was talking about what one of his videos yesterday, he was talking about the DJ academics and the situation he's going through. But the point I'm trying to make is he's talking about subjects that people are interested in. That's why they're clicking on him. People are interested in the Philippines during the COVID. Now it's not that popular anymore. It's like it's getting older and older, and I can talk about other stuff, guys. I promise you I can. And I think that's what I'm going to do on my Patreon and members only. But I'm asking my members, both of them, what y'all want me to talk about. Because the Philippines is playing out, guys. I'm telling you now. Not the country. It's just as fun and playful and everything as always is, but the subject is growing thin. And that's how YouTube and the algorithm works. It's just not that popular anymore. And it's getting more and more vloggers over here talking about the same stuff. And it's nothing, what do you call it, that's really standing out other than the sex. And, we can only, you know, we can't do that. They can. So they have an advantage. Dave Knopfler says there are too many Philippine bloggers now, more and more younger ones and less older ones. The older ones are actually leaving. They're not really leaving. I mean, I don't know which ones you're talking about who are leaving. And if they do leave, they're just going to go to their new destination and talk about the same stuff. The Philippine genre has just gotten old. After 3 years, and you just got so many people saying the same thing, and then they're lessening the value of it. It used to be a value there, but now when you got people just on there, just basically naked, you're talking about she like the front door, the back door, blah blah blah. Basically selling sex, man. How can an older guy deal with that? And they're not interested in the real relevant stuff that's going to set them up to succeed over here. Okay. Now, you got people like the Vagabond Awake. See, he travels all around and he offers a course on how to retire overseas and blah, blah, this and blah, blah, that, right? He's smart. But people like me who are stuck over here in the Philippines, basically, we're paying the price. I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you the nitty gritty. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Okay. If you're talking about starting a vlog over here, dude, okay, you're behind the 8 ball. Okay. Because the Philippines isn't as popular as it used to be. And it's losing ground every single day. Okay. Sometimes I wake up, I'm making a video, I'm like, I thought you were supposed to be giving up Philippine vlogs. But then somebody asked me, like today, Chase Uber, he says, hey, can I have a consultation with you? And it reminds me that I've got a lot of people who still follow me and who are still interested in the Philippines. I don't want to come all this way and then just say, oh, it's over. But I'm just being honest with you, man. It's not the same as it used to be. Jabraz said that Philippines life, she looks very average to me. Yeah, but not to them over here. See, your tastes are a whole lot different. She's basically a white Filipina. And they're the ones that's on TV and on the billboards and getting the prime jobs in entertainment and music and all of that and television. And She's been discovered over here. I know that's what it is. Because that's what Maryland and all that. Oh, you look like a celebrity. And I'm like, would y'all stop with that stuff? Because she's half white. I love the child says the way I look at it, if I can help my wife's family make money, then I'm spending less there. Yeah, but that's a steep learning curve because okay, they have no business experience. There is no business plan. And just because something sounds good doesn't make it a good business plan or a good business. Because it sounds good, doesn't it? Oh, I'm gonna open up this piggery and you get a sow and then and have babies and 10 babies and you sell the 10 and you do it again and blah blah blah. But it don't work like that. I got a friend lives out in Seattle. He's trying to do it for his wife's family down in Iloilo, and he's having the damnedest time. Because now that the money's coming in, they're screwing the money up. They're fighting over the money. They're mismanaging it. And what started out as good is turned into a disaster for him. So yeah, you got to be careful. Now, okay, say for instance, Merlin's brother. He's going to be our lead man when it comes to building these small houses. We're going to deal in real estate. Okay, that's the only thing I would even deal with. And see, we've got two. She got two other brothers who work in construction. Really one, but we've got the lead man. That's really all we need. He can hire who he knows who's a good worker and go from there. See, that's how you help. You find out what they're good in. And then if it's a decent type of business, it looks like it can be successful, then you get involved, but you need a business plan. People aren't writing business plans over here, man. There you go, have a nice day. Says not only is it getting old, but so many people are moving to the Philippines. They've lost interest in bloggers, but not as many as you think. The subject you can just beat. You can beat a dead horse. Is basically what's happening. Okay, that's basically what's happening. And now it's really coming out what people are interested in. They're not interested in the real information that's going to set them up to succeed over here. They're interested in these young women, okay, which everybody knew anyway, but they were hiding behind it at first. But now it's become apparent, okay? Because when you can get a woman standing up there in a bikini reading, somebody's absolutely holding something behind that camera because she's reading and they're getting 25, 30, 35,000 views, man. You know, but I'm not going to sell out like that. Uh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, he's talking about the right subjects now. See, if I was in America, man, my channel would be a whole lot bigger. I'd have a whole lot more followers because I would be talking about that foolishness over there too. Because if we take YouTube too serious, a lot of it's entertainment, man. It's nothing to be taken serious. You don't take Facebook seriously, so why would you take YouTube seriously? These guys, I mean, they're just humongous uh, vloggers, man, and they're not really talking about nothing. They're just basically gossiping, talking about what's going on, the P. Diddy situation, Jeffrey Epstein, modern women, and stuff like that, or whatever's in the headline. The reaction videos, I mean, the reaction channels, man, they're just out of this world popular. Those two twins, those two black guys, they're twins with the beards. I mean, they'll just get a clip like yesterday. They had a clip from an old movie in 1981 where the woman falls on the car, and when she falls on the car, her legs open up. Well, they played that. Oh, they said slow the camera down, because they're showing the lady's legs open. Fasten, speed it up, go back and forth, and oh man, it was hilarious. But that's the kind of stuff that they're selling, man. Now it's not the Philippines, guys. I promise you, it's not. It's old hat now. Well, I'm not gonna put anybody down or they look, because I certainly can't talk about somebody's looks. But you're right. They don't have to be, because how many Filipino vloggers are tens? Very few of them, but it's not them, it's us. We're so thirsty. Okay, the other day a guy came on my channel. Now he said it, I didn't say it. He said It's Wing and Apple Hernandez were twerking and guys were giving super chats out of this world now. Okay, okay, those two, and you're sending super chats out of this world like that? Come on, guys. That's the problem. But this is what y'all want to see. And so other channels are getting lost in the shuffle who actually have good information, but they can't gain any traction because the true colors is coming out. And if I'm a Filipino vlogger or Filipino vlogger, I'm taking the sex thing and I'm running off with it because they can do it. They're not going to have any, what do you call it, backlash. I mean, go on, okay. And the only reason I say this is because they brought me in front of the people for false allegations of exploiting Filipino women in human trafficking. Go on Baby May's channel. She don't have one regular YouTube subject. It's all her parading these young women in front of the camera, feeding them to us. That's it. I'm not knocking her for it. She's a genius to do that. But that's where this genre has gone to. Okay. I mean, you can only see so many people building houses over here, or island hopping and stuff like that. Yeah. This is what is selling over here now. If you want to be a Filipino vlogger, even the channels like that channel, it's a couple of channels now that's talking negatively about the Philippines. They're even gaining traction. And you can't even see the people who's talking. You don't know who's behind that. And they're talking about, the stuff that all the bloggers won't tell you, right? Yeah, it is low hanging fruit, man. And that's what we want, though. Stuff about startup cost and, what's really uh, money saving tips, one guy said on the members only live stream yesterday. Just, everyday stuff, it can't gain traction anymore. People don't want to see it. They've upped the ante. It's like, do you got a bikini? Yeah, even my buddy, and I met him and his girlfriend before. What's his name? Uh, Too much time on my hands, 65, Kevin and Jenna Lynn. Hell, even in one of his videos, he said, yeah, and Jenna Lynn's in a bikini not once but twice, and you know, they're using that, man. Yeah, I mean, of all the people, guys, I mean, my God. Yeah, well, we got a guy. I got a guy living here in St. Carlos City who thinks he's an absolute god, and everybody has their own preferences. Yeah, I'm just saying though, guys. We've lost our minds. Yeah, see this kind of stuff and how to get the most out of your life in the fourth quarter. What would you get on that? 500 views, maybe, if you did a video like that. an important video like that. And then it's just the whole point of the backlash that you get as a vlogger in the Philippines, vlogging from the Philippines. Yeah, that's what they want. No, I'm not going to give up. I'm just giving you the nitty gritty. I'm telling you why we're being penalized over here now, because every day somebody's new on her. Then I seen a guy now. All he's done, his whole channel is bashing the Dumagetti vloggers. I think it's Jeff in the Philippines or something. I'm like, man, what? Surely you can find something better to do with your time than to get on the YouTube, and that's all he does. And then he claims, oh, I don't want to earn any money on YouTube and this and that. Dude, if they start paying you, you're going to take that money like the rest of us. You're no different. Yeah, you can't argue with success. But those are the ones who y'all want to take over the vlogging over here. Y'all don't want us to do it. Y'all want to get the information from them. Okay, we'll see how that works out. Yeah, I mean, they're not interested in stuff like that. He said, Robert Daniels says, that walk to Doom again, he should have had 175,000 views. I don't even think he got 5,000. Okay, it's because that kind of stuff is way off the radar. Now, if I'd have said, I'm carrying Maryland in a bikini on my back, walking to Dumagetti, it would have got 175,000 views. Or I'm stopping at every cat house on the way from San Carlos City to Dumagetti to see how much it costs for a roll in the hay. Payday One says, I'm in Thailand now. It's cost more baht exchange rates, 33 baht to a dollar. Wow, it got up to 36. Philippines pesos around 56 pesos to a dollar. Philippines way cheap. I love it. Well, not really. I was talking about this last night with Derek. Your money actually goes, the value of your dollar is actually more in Thailand than it is in the Philippines. You actually get more for your dollar there than you do here. And I don't know how that works, but you do. It goes a whole lot further. I'm sorry. Yeah, when all else fails, break out the bikini, man. Because her last video, the last video she did, she's got a bikini on, guys. I know what I'm talking about. I'm not just on her yapping. Something, the 10 best destinations or something in the Philippines. She's got on a bikini. Now, I'm not gonna put on a bikini. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna do it. You dub to Calvin, you're like conscious hip hop. You never hear it on the radio or being pushed in the mainstream, but it's much needed. While the gangster rap and trap rap corrupting minds is front and center, man. That's well, but see, you're smart to come up with something like that. Yeah, I feel like that. But you see the money that these clowns is earning now, they're earning more on one album than the conscious rappers earned in their whole career. I mean, these guys are filthy rich, and everybody's little this and little that, little Dirk, little baby. Everybody's little now. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's boring too. Yeah, he says interesting comparison. Yeah, but Q ain't no regular guy. Q is a real deal. I met him. He's like he would be equivalent to a Secret Service agent. I mean, he. I don't think you would mind me telling. He protects the Supreme Court justices. This guy ain't no joke, man. He came here, man. I met him and his girlfriend, and he ain't no joke. Now he writes music, he raps, he does all kind of stuff, man. I don't think he's 50 yet. David Knopfler says not just exchange rate, payday one. Look at the difference in housing prices. Many say it's actually cheaper. It is. I mean, I was only there for 5 days and I saw the difference. I mean, your money goes a lot further there. But it's something about the Philippines that's grabbed a hold of me. It's not really about money anymore for me. It's about the peace and serenity here and the way I'm treated. See, that's way up there on the list of things I'm looking for in a country. Whether it's true or not, I feel that the welcome here for me is authentic, that it's real. And I could live anywhere really. I could live in Thailand. I could live anywhere, man. I could live in Cambodia. Put me anywhere, I can survive. All Gold says a Filipina doesn't have to be a 10 to get views on YouTube. She just has to be feminine, which is in short supply in the West. It goes, excuse me, it goes a long way, guys. You know, over here, just being a woman over here on YouTube goes a long, long way because we're really something has happened to us over there where our thinking has really become warped because if you look at what we value over here, the man who is here 24 hours, 7 days a week, he laughing at us. He said, why are you coming 8,000 miles for this? We're an inside joke to the men over here. Jabez said, Calvin, you have 260 people watching. Don't underestimate your impact. You can't control the algorithm. Focus on your audience and keep providing value. Most of these channels won't last. Yeah, I'm not saying that. I just said it earlier. If you go back and see, if it wasn't for you guys, this core group of supporters I got, I'd be done. You know. Yeah, Calvin's happy ending to it. Yeah. Mm. Yeah, Thailand is cheaper. And, I was only there 5 days, but I was right there by the beach for $19 a day. It was really a nice place. I mean, the food, everything is just, your money goes further. Me and Mr. Lee, the last day I was in Pattaya, we ate at this restaurant, and I put it on my community page. We had like a 6-course meal, extra rice, extra drinks. It wasn't even $20, man. I mean, big portions, right? But it is. Yeah, yeah, yeah. See, this is what I'm talking about, Auto Ordinary. You're right. In any channel, really. We're in a time now that's all you need. And they figured that out. These women have figured it out. And they're saying, yeah, um, that's all I have to do. Even though I'm not experiencing it, I have no experience in nothing I'm talking about. They don't know that. Hey, W Secrets to Success blog, thanks for that super chat. Said Thailand, it is. Bangkok. Yeah, it's, for people who like that sophistication, Bangkok is the most visited city on the planet. And I mean, some of the places me and Eric Terry stayed in Bangkok were just phenomenal. And then when you looked at the price, you'd be like, unbelievable. But there's just something about the Philippines. Hey, Ruby, I um, didn't overlook you. I like your input. And see, Ruby could have a real channel because she gives common sense information. See, even Jennifer Terry, whose channel was exploding during the pandemic, it's crickets now. because she don't wear a bikini. But she's got real information that can help you. We don't watch her really anymore. Hey, Crypto Freddy said, what's up, bro? I've been living in Metro Manila for over 2 decades. Inflation and cost of living has increased substantially in the past 5 years. From Freddie. Yeah, the inflation over here, man, it's skyrocketing. Although it's been going down little by little since the pandemic, because it was up to 8%. And last month and November, it was hovering around 4.5%, which was the projection all along. Yeah. The Beach of Life said the Johns on YouTube are selling that dream. One thing that sells just as well as sex is a dream. And you're exactly right. A lot of guys, they want that. Oh, I can travel around the Philippines inexpensively and, party and, have a nice looking young woman in every town. Yeah, those channels are good too. And I'm not knocking any of them. I'm just telling y'all, because there's a lot of people who are coming over here wanting to start a YouTube channel. Yeah, he said talent's cheaper to a bar girl gets a hold of you and takes all your money. Mr. T says, how do I join the membership, Cal? It should be a join button somewhere you can click. I can't even describe why I like the Philippines anymore. It's just like a knowing that I'm welcome, a knowing that I'm in the right place. Because, if Thailand is right up the street and people have a tendency to want to compare those two, but there's just it's the intangibles about the Philippines, man. I can't explain it. But that's the reason why I'm still here. Hey, Robert Sanford, thanks for that super chat. He said, what? Just checking in on you before I go to this hamster wheel. Yeah, now he just left here, Robert Sanford, and he picked him a star. He sent me a picture, couple of pictures actually. But you made a quick turnaround, brother. I mean, I don't know if I've ever done that before. You were here for what, 8 days? Turned around and went back? Oh, yeah, I'm not knocking them. But we suffer, though, guys. We suffer because this is the reason why so many of us end up getting into trouble over here. We get focused on that when, if you really want to get real, that's the least you got to worry about. Okay? You're not going to have a problem with that. And I think who's really pushing that is the guys who are never going to come over here. Because the guys who come over here, for the majority of them, they'll see that, yeah, this is the real deal. It's just like they said it was going to be. But I think what's pushing that wagon, Jabrash, is the guys who are never coming over here. They just want to see that. Yeah, he said, Cedric Giles said, Chris Rock said about 20 years ago, it's so symbolic today. He said, the most a man can look forward to is the woman making sure he gets the bigger piece of chicken at dinner. That's even scarcer now, though. But I kind of touched on that a little bit earlier. Like, is it really that bad over there? What kind of woman are we looking for? Why are our standards all of a sudden have gotten so high? Are they even real? There's some fine ass sisters over there, some fine ass women in America over there. They just don't want me. And the options I've got, I don't want. I mean, I looked at a good friend of mine. We went to elementary school all the way up through high school, and they went to see The Color Purple, her and her friends, and it was scary. I was like, wow. I mean, these women just look so old, man, and they were the same age as I was. And I'm like, nah, see, I don't want that. And I'm not talking about them. I'm just saying that's my options over there. I don't have a problem with American women. There you go. Have a nice day. So, Calvin, you did it the right way. The most important thing you can do is find the right place, and everything else falls into place. Yeah, you got to have a plan. I mean, a simple enough plan that you're going to follow. And we know how to follow plans. There you go. Have a nice day. We follow them in the military. We follow them at the factory, at the post office. In order to retire after all those years, we know how to do it, but we get over here and our focus is in the wrong place. Your number one thing you should do is, where are you going to live over here in the Philippines? All things considered, the weather, cost of living, everything that you trying to do, that's the number one thing you need to be concerned about. Are the hospitals, do I need hospitals or whatever? Are they around? What about the Wi-Fi? Because there's a guy, he was contemplating Ilo. I don't think he's going to contemplate it anymore. He's living in Manila where the Wi-Fi is good. He's a digital nomad. He said, Cal, I'm thinking about Cebu or Ilo. I say, well, with your job, you may want to think Cebu. And I'll be damned if Ilo doesn't go into a 2-day blackout where the damn three power grids went offline. And that whole island, which they call Panay Island, Panay, was in a blackout for 2 days. So that may have you know, that may change his plans. But you have to know where you're going, man. And then how am I gonna have? Yeah, I met regular guy. He's super popular. Because a lot of guys, he's young. I think he's like 40, in his early 40s or something like that. They're seeing him. He's running around, partying. He's in Angeles City one week, Cebu, Manila, province. He got different women, but he's funny though. He's got a way about himself. He stayed in the guest house, but people like that because there's a lot of guys who are in that little age range from like 40 to 55. The engine is still juiced up and running, and that's their ideal of the Philippines. That's what they see in their heads. They don't see settling down over here or anything like that. He said, I heard Bali is really cheap. There was a video today, Vagabond Awakes. He was interviewing a guy who actually moved from Bali to here, to the Philippines. Said he's happier here. I love the chance that Big Shirley massage in the Philippines extremely unlucky. And thanks for bringing up Big Shirley. It's been a while. Well, she's not coming. There's a reason why a lot of Western women don't come to the Philippines. And just in my humble opinion. First of all, they know that they're not going to get a whole lot of attention over here. And, the Philippines just has to me, it's not the right reputation, but I didn't create the reputation. It just has such a bad reputation. And a lot of those Western women, if you think we're spoiled and picky and choosy, well, hell, they're that to the ninth degree. They're like, they just hear anything bad about the infrastructure and they're staying away. So they run to Thailand. I don't think you're going to see that over here. Most of the black women over here that I've seen are Western women. They're married. They're married. They're over here with their husbands. Hey, Robert Sanford, thanks for that super chat. He said the jet lag hit me for one day. Then the second day, I got some rest. I was good after that. And I'm glad you bring that up because we're unprepared for that. We don't even take that into consideration. And that'll mess up your whole trip if you're not careful, especially if you're only going to be here for 2 weeks. We don't realize you're flying, I mean, in the air at least 18 to 20 hours. And then we're, depending on where you're coming from. If you're coming from the West Coast, well, Robert, I think you're coming from Texas. So right now you're like 14 hours behind the Philippines. You rocket 14 hours ahead. It's going to mess you up. I've learned that hard lesson too many times. Guys, sit down, sit your behind down, because that adrenaline is going to is going to rub off, and then you're going to sleep for 2 days. And you're going to wake up and be like, damn, man, I wasted 2 days over here in the Philippines. Because 2 weeks goes like that over here. 30 days goes like that over here. He said, Willis, I lost all respect for Will Smith. He says, Nathaniel Drug Free says, do they have homeowners insurance there for those type of weather disaster damages? I'm sure they do. But for the masses of people, they don't have it. Hell, they did a study here and they said 50% of the people on the road in Manila don't have insurance or they're unregistered. I'll say it's more than that. In a little place like St. Carlos City, I'd say it's 75 to 80% of the people that are riding around here have no insurance or registration. AKA World Traveler WT Global. He says, I'm in the Philippines now. I thought I had a good one, but after 5 years, I had to call it quits because of constantly being called a liar, even though we've seen each other every other month. Yeah, ridiculous. Yeah, you're going to run into that insecurity, man. I've run into it. I run into it now. I can be on my phone and run. What are you doing? What are you talking about? What I'm doing? You know, I just, you're going to run into that. Yeah, I don't like that either. It's like, if you don't trust me, then, we might as well part ways. But I know exactly what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about. That rubs me the wrong way too, man. I mean, no matter what you say, you're lying. S1 Philly Vibes, what's up? He said the trade-off in the U.S. with women is horrible. Most of the men I know that's married find their happiness at work. Yeah, but aren't we the flip side of that same coin, guys? This is what I was trying to get to today when we're talking about what we're looking for in a woman. Aren't we we're just two sides of the same coin, guys. They're not any different than us. They're thinking they're grown from the same soil over there. We need to start looking within ourselves because it's probably going to start with you as to the problems you're going to have because you're going to have those same problems over here. She's just going to look better and you're probably going to, she's going to be a little bit not as confrontational, but, we're the flip side of that same coin with these women over there. That's why I've kind of backed off that battle of the sexes that's raging out there, man. There's guys who are happy over there. There's a guy that got on my live stream. He said, everybody's not coming over there. There's a lot of us that's happy over here. And I agree with him. Ruby says, Bali is cheap too, but language is also a barrier. Remember, that's generally a Muslim place too. Well, the Muslim thing doesn't bother me. I have more problem with Christians, Ruby, than Muslims. Islam is a religion of peace anyway, and the few crazies, we paint that whole religion with one brush. So the Muslim thing doesn't bother me. The language thing would, because it bothers me here, but I've gotten used to it. See, people think that all they're going to hear is English over here. You're not. You're going to hear wherever you are, whatever language is in your vicinity. Where I am is Bisaya. So that's what I hear all day. But I'm in the Philippines. I got to deal with that. The signage helps me. Yeah, the LDR is a nightmare, and it's just not worth it. Over here, I wouldn't even consider it an LDR, Mike. This is a long, 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 long distance relationship. You ain't got no business dating a woman 8,000 miles from home. That's insanity when you think about it. There's no way I would do that, really. That's why I never stayed. Whenever I was interested in a woman, I never stayed. I mean, if I'm chatting with a woman, it's 2 weeks, I'm here. There's no long distance, nothing. I'm sorry. The longest I was ever away once I started coming was 2 months. And that about killed me. But that's the craziest thing I could ever imagine, man. But when you tell guys the truth, they get mad. So for all those months that you're together, you're not in a relationship. You're single over there. And she's single over here. You're not together. The best way to remedy that long distance relationship is to make it short, a short distance relationship. But to have a woman and you say it's my woman and she's 8,000 miles over for month after month after month after month, man, it's crazy. I wouldn't do it to myself, guys. I don't know why y'all doing it. There's no woman or no man good enough on this earth for me to put myself through that. I'm sorry, man. I know a lot of guys go through it and everything like that. Look, until you can make that 100% commitment, hey, we friends, you know. And once we can live, because the woman that you eventually start living with together is going to be totally different from the woman that you're communicating with 8,000 miles away and you don't see her every day. Wait till you live with her. Then talk to me. I'm telling you guys. He said he never had jet lag. I guess there's some things you can do, but most of the time jet lag hits me even when I go home. Yeah, and you're right about this, Dave. He said Malaysia is very underrated. Everyone speaks English there. It's a blend of Indian, Chinese, and Malaysian people. It's really hard to distinguish locals versus foreigners. And I'm glad you bring this up because remember, Thailand used to be way ahead of everybody in Southeast Asia as far as visitors, right? In 2019, Thailand was 49 million. Malaysia was second, 19 million. Now, Malaysia for 2023, if there was more visitors, I think it was 25 million than Thailand at 24 million. So yeah, people are getting hip to Malaysia. One of my friends here, he's from Australia. He's a young guy. He moved here with his parents. His father married, Filipino wife for hell. They've been married forever. They moved from Australia over here. He said they just came from Malaysia, and he was like, man, we're thinking about moving to Malaysia. He said the older you get, the quicker time goes. Well, it seems that way, but in actuality, it doesn't. But I guess it seems that way. Matt Chappelle says Ruby Bali is one of the few islands in Indonesia that's not Muslim. Well, it's a lot of Muslims there. I know they had that terror attack there in what was that, 2004? But I don't have a problem with Muslims. I have a problem. It's Christians that you know, they give me the most problems. Now he says, Victory says, Doctor says, be careful. You don't want to end up having a Nestle crunch. Especially over here, the medical is not that great. And if you're burning, good luck getting fast relief. Be careful, guys. Well, honestly, where you are, man, you got pretty good medical near you in Cebu. Changhua Hospital. There's a couple of good hospitals in Cebu. certainly in Metro Manila. Most of the uh, expat alley. One thing I always tell guys is self-care. Because men, we don't go to the doctor. We're looking for a miracle when we show up. John was looking for a miracle when he showed up down there in Dumagetti. He was looking for a miracle, guys. John knew he was in bad shape. Hey, Jack Wolfinger, he said they don't have a valid driver's license either. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I guarantee you it's a lot more than 50%. I made Marilyn get her license because when we first met, that's the first thing I asked her. I said, do you have your license? She said, no. I mean, we're going everywhere. And she said, but it's so expensive. It's 10,000, whatever. I said, I don't care how much it is. I'm going to pay for it. You need to get it. And she goes to get her motorcycle license, and guess what? They give her a driver's license. You figure that out. Hey, Ronaldo Di Cristo Rey says, Calvin, the bikini moment will pass. The real question is, are they smarter than a fifth grader? You have substance in your videos. Keep going. Hey, thank you, man. I never, for once, ever thought about giving up. Not seriously. Do you get discouraged? Yeah. Q Dub says, my trick for the jet lag is to stay up 24 hours before you get on the plane. And you can sleep all the way to the Philippines. It definitely makes you feel better. You know, it's only one time in my whole entire life I slept on the plane for the most of the time. And I was going back home. And I don't know why, but it was me and this guy he was from Detroit. We were flying into Detroit. And we sat beside each other, right? I had the window seat and he had the aisle seat. And I slept most of the way home. And I don't know why. Because, and we were in the back, which I don't like the back. Because it's always, you always get that turbulence. He says he has insurance on his two houses in Metro. Actually, a lady came by the other day and was one of our friends is the insurance agent, and she talked to us about it. So we're looking into it. He says, there you go. I heard that most people in Malaysia speak English. Well, it's becoming more and more popular. This guy was blown away by it. He's from Australia. He said, man, we're thinking about moving to Malaysia. Willis Boykin says, jet lag is easy to beat. Take it from an old pro. All you need to do is stay up about 32 hours before you fly. You'll be so tired that it will be easy to sleep through the entire flight. Wow, Q Dub said 24. You said 32. Hell, how do you stay up for 32 hours? You got to have somebody, you got to have a damn assistant to keep you awake. But I'm going to say that the medical here in the right situation is pretty good. See, we're under the impression that America has such great health care. Well, if it did, why do over 400,000 people die from medical negligence over there every year? Not just a freak accident. That's every year. Over 400,000 people die of medical negligence in the United States. So it may, you may have a nice brand over there, the big, beautiful hospital. They've got a book. Y'all think I'm playing. Has anybody looked it up? How to get out of the hospital alive over there. It's a real book, guys. He says, I got to disagree, Shan. The women here are off the chain. Might as well date a man. But I'm saying we're the flip side of that. They're saying the same thing about us. They're saying, I'm not going to do all that you want me to do. It's unreasonable. And look at you. You're not all that either. We earn the same amount of money. Okay. All you got to do, the man eventually is going to have the winning hand because women, they just mature faster than we do. All you got to do is be patient. Those women who aren't giving you the time of day, they're going to be begging for you to take them out pretty soon. It's just that I learned a long time ago, the earth is approximately 197 million square miles, guys. Most of us are living our lives on the tip of this damn pen. See this pen? This is where you live in your life. That's why you're frustrated, happy man. Who says, where is it written that says that you can't leave this damn dot and go out here and find whatever it is you're looking for, which is probably looking for you too out here. That's the whole philosophy. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of my time anymore sitting around arguing with people, pointing fingers. I'm out of there because I guarantee you what you're looking for is out here somewhere. It's not. It certainly is not on that little dot. And I'm certainly not going to date a man over there. Millions and millions of women, billions of women out here actually. You damn right. You know, they're always pointing at the Muslims. Shit. You know, believe it or not, Timothy McVeigh was a self-proclaimed Christian. He says, no alimony, no child support, no divorce or abortion. Now, I ain't going to touch that because I'm not a lawyer. Oh, man, yeah. Now, see, we got this together. He said, but that hot panda style bread with the cheese in the middle is the bomb. Yeah. But panda style usually doesn't have cheese bread, but I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the cheese bread. This is one surprise that I love to this day. I never even imagined the Philippines would have the bakeries that they have over here. I'm talking about everywhere you go, there's a bakery. And the bread, you can ask them, say, when are you going to make the hot bread? And they'll tell you 3 o'clock, 10 o'clock, whatever it is. You come over there, some of the best Spanish bread I've ever tasted in my entire life, right here in San Carlos City. Me and Marilyn, we were it was just a humble. We're riding on her motorcycle and we go past. I said, stop over here, let's get some bread. It was hot, man. It was soft. If you ever had Spanish bread, it was so delicious. We ate the whole 10 pieces or whatever it was. But that's a great surprise that you're never going to even imagine that's over here. Hey, there you go. Have a nice day. Thanks for that super chat. He said, enjoy the live tonight. I'm getting LeBron. Okay. LeBron surgery, shoulder surgery next week, and retiring February 29th. I'll be there March 15th, Angeles City, for my landing and first home until I find a permanent city to live. And you picked a good place. And best of luck, man, on that surgery. You know, one of my Facebook friends, and really we used to date about 30 years ago. She says, pray for me. I have surgery. I'm like, well, I just wish that you get good doctors. I don't know about that praying. But yeah, you picked a good landing spot. I really enjoyed Angeles City, man. And congratulations on your retirement, February 29th. See, he knows how to plan, guys. You need a plan over here. But yeah, I'm going to get off here too. Paul McGraw said, do y'all mean bread talk? No, they've got good bread too. No, I'm talking about bread talk is usually in the malls. I'm just talking about Arby's. They've got all these little local bakeries, man. And you'll be riding down the street and you'll smell that freshly baked bread. I love that. What? Yeah. He said, Ruby says, take it easy on Filipino bread. They have plenty of sugar. Don't risk getting diabetes. Yeah, it's delicious though. I don't eat it every day, Ruby, but whenever we go past and I can get some good hot cheese bread, panda salad in the morning. Oh man. Kevin Jenkins says the women in bikinis are nice to look at, but speaking the truth keeps us in reality. Yeah, that is true, man, and that's 100% true. But right now they're winning, and I'm not gonna put on a bikini. Yeah, I love bread talk, man. They have the and that's the one me and Marilyn get all the time, Paul McGraw, with the raisins in it. And you can sit there and get it right out of the oven, man. And I'm talking about it's so good. Usually when we go to Sabuda, Ayala Mall. But yeah, guys, um, thank y'all so much for your super chats, your super stickers, all your thumbs up. I'm gonna get off here because I've got to go to the store really. I've got a call at 12 o'clock. Then after that, I'm going to the store. We took the kids swimming. And I made some footage at the place because this is the place I always have my meet and greets when I have it here in St. Carlos City, Migs. And so I'm going to release a video probably in the morning with that background. But if we do decide to have a meet and greet, I'll let you know by the end of the week because I think they're doing some type of construction there, right? They're doing something there, so I don't know if it's going to be available because I don't want to have it anywhere else. Okay, Cedric, he says, I just had a eureka moment. Not sure it matters. I'm subscribed 2 ways to the channel through my phone and desktop. It was inadvertent, but I wonder if everyone does it, if it will boost subs here. Well, not really. Thanks for that. But, YouTube rewards you on views, really. Now they've got the membership and people can join your channel. Now that would matter with the subs. But take care, everybody. Stay safe. Stay out of trouble. I'll see y'all next time.